Turkey has applied to join BRICS. When this application is indeed approved, Turkey will undoubtedly become the first NATO member country to join the club of leading and influential states of the so-called Global South. This is indeed an important decision for the President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. He has been trying to balance between the West and the Global South for the last few decades. Erdogan has built strong, trusting relationships with Russia and China, even after the onset of the large-scale Russia-Ukraine war, in which the President of Turkey supported Ukraine and sought to be an important mediator in reaching agreements between Moscow and Kiev. He maintained a special relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, joining an alliance of countries that are indeed clearly ready to compete with the West is a separate decision that requires careful analysis of Recep Tayyip Erdogan's partners. Yes, of course, BRICS definitely cannot be called a defensive alliance like NATO. It definitely cannot be called an economic union like the European Union. It is primarily a club, but the question arises as to what essentially unites the members of this club. The answer to this question is indeed quite simple. The main participants of this club primarily see their role in competing with the Western countries, and participants such as China and Russia are undoubtedly in opposition to the West. Of course, this concept of confrontation is not supported by all BRICS member countries. For example, India, Brazil, and the Republic of South Africa, like Turkey, strive not for confrontation, but for balance. Nevertheless, the fact that a NATO member country will undoubtedly be in the same club as Russia and the People's Republic of China is indeed a significant shift in Turkey's foreign policy and strategy. And when it is asserted in Ankara that the application to join BRICS is related to Turkey's desire to join all important alliances, it is an attempt to downplay the significance of the political choice made by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. For Russia and China, NATO is an adversary, not just a defensive alliance whose existence needs to be taken into account. And Turkey is certainly a member of this alliance, being one of the very most important members. And how participation in clubs of the Global South increasingly aligns with Turkey's Euro-Atlantic orientation is also becoming an important and significant question for the future, especially in the context of global dynamics. The West, of course, will not react harshly to Turkey's natural aspiration to join BRICS for one simple and clear reason. Not only does Turkey need the United States of America and other Western countries as important economic partners, but the United States of America and European countries also need Turkey as a crucial ally, primarily in political, I would say, strategic terms. Losing such an ally is a serious blow to the security of the West. Here's why. Recep Tayyip Erdogan's decision to join BRICS will not provoke a strong reaction from his allies. How did the deliberate and intentional blocking by the President of Turkey, of Finland, and Sweden's desire to join NATO not provoke a strong reaction? Moreover, efforts were made to find a compromise with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and not only in Helsinki or Stockholm, but primarily in Washington. Erdogan has likely already realized that he should take undoubtedly extravagant and significant political steps, if only to attract more attention to himself. The United States, in its diplomatic communications, gets the impression that if they do not frequently and consistently mention the Turkish president often enough, he may end up in another political camp to ensure that the Turkish president remains aligned with their political interests. And Erdogan is indeed happy to support this illusion, because in reality, he has nowhere to go. His economic interests are mainly and primarily linked to cooperation with the West, and also rather than with China and with Russia. But creating the illusion that he can switch to another camp has become the signature style of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in recent years, if not in recent decades. In this regard, the application submitted by Turkey to BRICS is part of this political style. It is obviously clear that Turkey's joining this organization will not change much significantly. Throughout its existence over the years, BRICS has not been able to make any significant, serious institutional decisions. It still remains primarily a club of political leaders who seek to demonstrate their ability to compete with and showcase their competitiveness against the West and unite in the interests of such competition. But Recep Tayyip Erdogan can indeed, definitely and certainly use his application to BRICS in his own interests much more fruitfully than other countries that have recently decided to join the alliance. It should be noted that the process of joining still raises significant questions. First, information appears that a certain country has applied to join BRICS, and then it turns out that this state had no real intentions of joining the club. And here, of course, a very important question arises. Will the application proposed by Recep Tayyip Erdogan to the members of BRICS turn out to be primarily a political gesture? And the President of Turkey will remain an observer in the club of leaders for a long time, with whom he has already established quite close and trusting relationships. Thank you, friends. Stay on this channel, help spread it, and use the sponsorship feature on YouTube. Good luck to you.